What's going on, everybody? It's your host of the Blessing Thoughts podcast, and I'm here to let you know if you've been thinking about starting your own podcast but don't know where to go, then look no further, because Anchor is a tool for you. Anchor is a free podcast distribution site that allows you to record your podcast, and you can edit them on the site yourself, and then you can upload them. They'll even help expand your podcast to more platforms just by a click of a button, distribute them to other platforms such as Spotify or Apple. And if you want to make money from podcasting, Anchor helps with that too, by helping you get ads you can promote on your podcast, just like what I'm doing right now. So look no further and go download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and start your podcasting journey today. Peace. What's going on, everybody? This is True Relaxation here, and I'd like to welcome you guys back to another episode of the Relaxing Thoughts podcast. And we finally made it to episode 10, the double digits. Hopefully we just keep going from here. But I want this is gonna be, I guess, a shorter episode. I mainly just want to talk about, I guess, continuing on the discussion of my journey on my podcast, but on a personal level. This is something I wanted to do for a few years now, and it was just good to finally do it and all. So yeah. But before we get into all of that, of course, just talk about things that I've been into as of late. I've started to rewatch Wu Assassin on Netflix. I watched the first episode a while back, when it first aired, but I just didn't pick it back up after that. But I finally picked it back up. Definitely, if you're into martial arts and stuff, definitely a good watch. Some of the CGI in it is a little bit you can tell there was a budget, but you don't mind that. I feel like it's not the main point of the show. I think it's just supposed to give the supernatural element to it. So they just do a lot of a weird mystical stuff in it. But overall, it's just about the story and about the fighting. So yeah. I was going to buy this game. It just came out, the Medium. This is Xbox, I think, first exclusive since the release of the next gen, even though it's also you can also get it on PC as well, but quote unquote exclusive. You can buy it on Steam, the Epic Store, or Xbox, but also if you have the Game Pass, it's already available for free download, which I still have my Game Pass subscription. So I was why not just use that? And I want to say, I guess I'm kind of glad I didn't buy it. The game is not bad at all, but it suffers from optimization issues. It could be me, but I have went on Steam to check reviews out, and a lot of people say the same thing. They enjoyed the game, but the game is just badly optimized. And for me, it's the game has this feature. Well, the game is about. Well, I can't necessarily tell you what the game is fully about yet, because I'm still in the beginning stages. But it's a psychological horror game. People tend to compare it to the Silent Hill game. So it has the elements. There's no combat system, it seems like. So the game is gonna rely on other elements to give you, I guess, a spook or a scare. There are a few jump scare moments here and there. From when I started, you play as this woman. She has these psychic powers that allow her to, I guess, cross between the world of the dead and the living, if that makes sense. She can talk to souls that haven't crossed over yet, and she can help them cross over. But there's also evil spirits there too that's there to I guess kill her. So you have to avoid them. but there's a feature where she crosses over to the other world. The screen splits in half, and you see yourself in both the living world and the other world, and that just like the frame rate just completely drops like badly. Like it just hurts my eyes when I watch that, which sucks because there's a lot of moments where you have to be in that moment. So I mean, I don't know, maybe they could patch it, but it sucks that wish that it just came out polished as is. But like I said, it could also be me. Maybe my graphics card is not strong enough for it. I don't know, but other people have complained about the optimization issue, so it is a known issue. But yeah, so I mean, so far, I mean, especially if you have an Xbox, I know there really isn't anything to play on these next gen console games right now. And especially if you have the Game Pass, like I said, you just got it. It's just a free download. But buying, I think it's only like $45 full price, so it's not the typical full price game. So I mean, that's not a bad price. Maybe if you can get it a little cheaper, I'll get it. But I mean, yeah, it's not a bad price for the game. I mean, like I said, maybe your experience is different from mine, so I would recommend it still. But yeah, I've been streaming it too as well. So guys want to check out my stream. Also, I've been uploading the stream videos to my YouTube channel. You can catch up on things you miss. Both my YouTube and Twitch is Digital Relaxation. But other than that, in recent news, the Royal Rumble and wrestling WWE have actually happened. That's actually my favorite like event from wrestling, because well, when I grew up watching wrestling, the brand split was like a major thing. So that was like one of the only rare times you could see members from each brand actually compete against each other. So you get like dream matches within the Rumble match, and that was always amazing. And just the concept of like all these people coming in and winning, and cause you don't know who's gonna win, it could be anybody. It's just the excitement of it. And it was also one of my favorite modes to play during like in the wrestling games, like the SmackDown vs. Raw games and stuff. So it was definitely a good match. I actually went back to watch a couple old ones too, like even ones like I wasn't around for, and definitely some good ones there. Some I would say overhyped ones. I think the victory overshadows more the match itself. In my personal opinion, the one where Shawn Michaels, I think that was 95, where Shawn Michaels entered number 1 and he won it because only one of his foot touched the floor. That Rumble as a whole, I mean, it was not that enjoyable, but it was also the people that was in it. There was a lot of people I had no clue about. Like, there wasn't no big names really in there compared to I went back and watched the 92 Rumble where Ric Flair won it. I think he won it from number 2 or number 3, I don't remember. Possibly number 1, I don't know. But he went into the Royal Rumble, and that one was like jam-packed with like a lot of legends that you know, like Hogan, Randy Savage, Sergeant Slaughter. Owen Hart came into it, but I think Bret Hart kept on attacking him, so he didn't last long. I think even Shawn Michaels was in. I'm not sure. I don't think so though. But yeah, like that one was amazing. And to see, like, you know, when you growing up as a fan, like for the things you weren't there for, but it's like it's kind of common knowledge. Like certain people need to get their respect. Like Ric Flair is one of those guys who like we just acknowledge that he's a legend, but by the time when I was watching wrestling, he was like way past his prime, still kinda. So like only saw what he was able to do in the ring at that point in time, and I never seen him like during his heyday. So to watch that Rumble and see him like basically fight 30 other people in the Rumble and win it, and then he gave that promo, with a tear in my eye, this is the greatest moment of my life. That kind of like showed me why he's a legend. I was like, okay, like this man was really out here, like, and it wasn't like he wasn't doing anything, like even though he's known for his shady tactics, like that's his thing, like he's the dirtiest player in the game. Like he wasn't doing no hiding or nothing, like he was really there fighting everybody. So it was really great. That was a really good one. So this Rumble that happened was actually good. Some good surprises and returns, some good matchups. I'm not upset at the victory of who won it. I say wrestling's in a weird spot right now in terms of like certain characters and certain titles. I feel they not like, cause they doing the brand split again, but it just don't feel the same. So on Raw, I feel like the talent on Raw, there aren't people who have enough, I guess, hype to move forward, and that is bugging me because I don't see nobody challenging Drew McIntyre for the title right now. Granted, it's not that I don't want to see him lose it or defend it, it's just I just don't see storyline wise anyone who's willing. Like I don't see no one who needs to fight him. I guess like he's just in a weird spot. So I see that they're making him fight legends now, which is, I mean, that's cool. But yeah, so I mean, I think they need to build up more of their superstars, get people more settled into their characters, give them more better storylines, and yeah. But that's about it. I mean, the whole show, the event itself was alright. Some cool matches, some I didn't care about. So it is what it is. But yeah, that's mainly the stuff I've been into recently. As well, yeah, I want to talk about, I guess, yeah, like this is the 10th episode of my podcast. I don't know, most people do not know I originally started doing my podcast about a year ago with a guest. It was a strictly gaming podcast where we just talked about video games for the most part. This one is basically like me just talking about it's not a lot of things, like a variety of things that I'm interested in, but I do want to like change it and talk about more, I guess more, it's hard to explain, like things that's more like heavy in my mind, like things that I think about, and see how, if other people like think the same way about it or feel the same way about it or have their own perspective. And that's also why I want to like get more guests to see if like see their point of view of the situation. So yeah, I think I've been talking to a few people in like different groups and friends about my podcast and the things I'm struggling with. Like I feel that is my issue right now. It's like finding the right way to promote the podcast for like when you click my podcast, I want you to know what you're getting yourself into, I guess, instead of just like every episode I'm talking about something random. So I'm trying to cut back on a few topics. Yeah, it's been, I guess, I mean, it's not a long journey, but it's been a good journey. Like I've been enjoying doing the podcast thing. Like I'm not 100% focused on like how many people listen to it. It's just I feel like I still need to like better myself in making this product an enjoyable experience. I guess I'm not 100% there yet, so I'm slowly just working my way towards that, and then making my way towards expanding to more listeners. So that's where I'm at with that. Yeah. Um, I also had another weird topic that I want to talk about, which I guess this is going to be, I guess, like uh, like a preview of the things I will talk about in this podcast, and it's the idea of, I guess, well, some people will call it the Mandela effect, but I guess I don't want to call it that to a full degree. I want to call it the idea of having false memories, even though it's kind of the same thing. But Mandela effect deal with alternate realities, and I'm not getting into that. I mean, I could get into that maybe with someone else, but not right now. But so I was recently like scrolling through like social media, and then I'm seeing someone post like these pictures. Like they posted like, I don't know, they were trying to give like these creepy vibes when you look at the picture, and the caption is like, "You've been here before, haven't you?" and stuff like that. So I'm like, personally, I'm like, no. But then I go to the comments to see what people are saying about this, and a lot of people are like saying that they had dreamed about this place, and I find it, I guess, I don't know, interesting. Dreams has always been interesting to me. I have joined groups where people just talk about dreams, and I always talk to people about their dreams. Like ever since I was young, that like I always been interested in my dreams and other people's dreams. But like the idea, I guess, of people sharing the same dream that's one that I don't think I have ever heard of. Like there's a lot of people that said they dreamed of that place, and I guess the idea of a dream world, a shared dream world, where maybe like, because I always wondered these things myself, like when you dream about people in your dream, like just how you walk around your everyday life, and you ever think about like, you know, I pass by like thousands of faces every day, but I don't remember one of them because I don't look at them. And you think about when you make these dreams, like how do your dream manifest these people to make the dream world feel like it's a populated place? And it's like, could it be other people sharing your dream world, I guess? But I never talked to people that I have dreamed about, people that I'm close to, and I have never once encountered someone saying they had the same dream as me before. So that was interesting to see people saying that they have dreamed of the same place before, I guess. So I don't know what you guys think about that idea, like the concept of a shared dream world, and I guess a different, like your memories playing tricks on you, I guess. Like maybe you visit like at the place like it looks like it was some kind of, the best way to describe it is like an abandoned Chuck E. Cheese. I never dreamed about being a Chuck E. Cheese. I went to Chuck E. Cheese probably like twice in my life as a kid. I wouldn't say it was too memorable for me to keep it in my mind that I dreamed about the place. So I don't know, but a lot of people were saying yeah. So, but one thing that have always been bugging my mind, I guess, in my memories as of late, the idea of the World Trade Center, the Twin Towers. I've been born and raised in New York, like for 1/3 of my life. I always been in New York, like my entire life. I always go back to New York. My entire life, I have family in New York. And from when I was born to when 9/11 happened, I was sitting there thinking that for some reason I have no memory of ever seeing the World Trade Center, despite being in New York pretty much my entire life up at that point. There's a picture, I have a picture, there's only one picture of me when I was like a toddler, like probably months old, with me being held and the World Trade Center is in the background. But I have zero memory of ever seeing them, the towers, and that bugs me out. Like, because it's weird because growing up, my parents been separated pretty much my entire life. So when I would go to like my mother's house for the weekend or coming back, we would cross like this bridge area, and from there you could pretty much see all of Manhattan, like, you know, all the skyscrapers and everything, even the Statue of Liberty. And if, like, from where the World Trade Center was, you should be able to see it like clear as day right in front of you, and I have no memory of ever seeing them. I know I always seen the Empire State Building many a times, but yeah, like, it's weird. So, and then the day it happened, I remember I was leaving school, and that's another weird one too, because my school building, the way some school buildings in New York, they work with height. So when I moved over to New Jersey, most of these buildings are more wider. Like, the most they have is a second floor, but most of the time it's just a wide, long building. New York buildings are just tall, so they be having like 5 floors on them. So the way that my school work was, each floor was each grade. So I was in the 3rd grade, I believe, when 9/11 happened, and I should be on the 3rd floor, and you can actually see. No, actually, I was not. I was in, at this time, 2nd grade. So I was on the 2nd floor. But at the time, you can see, like, you could see New York from a distance. And even at that, I didn't really have no memory of seeing it. And we was leaving school. My brother picked me up from school. We was walking home, and we just kept on seeing like, it was just raining, burning paper. Like, a lot of paper was just burnt, and it was just like, it was literally like, it looked like snow was coming down. And we were like, what the heck happened? So we assuming that it was like, maybe it was a fire nearby, because the distance between where the World Trade Center should be to my school is extremely far, and the fact that it traveled all the way down here was crazy. So we was weirded out by that at first. So we thought it was something that was close by. So we went to his friend's house and turned on the news, and that's when we found out about the World Trade Center. And I was like, oh, it's crazy. But yeah, like, as I started growing up, I started sitting there thinking about it. Like, every time I pass by the city or whatever, or if I'm in the city, and I was like, you know, it's dawning on me that I really have zero memory of ever seeing the World Trade Center. And I don't know, maybe that's just me. But I guess the idea of false memories, like, it's strange that a building, I don't remember a building, and now that it's completely gone, I would never have no way of, like, remembering it. So it's just like, it's as if this building was wiped from the existence of my memory when that event happened. I don't know, it's just odd. But yeah, but definitely, I mean, it was a tragic moment in American history. Definitely rest in peace to all the victims that had to suffer through that, and of course all the family members that probably still suffering from the loss of that. And I know there's people that later on there was like people getting sickness from it, like due to like the smoke and whatever that happened. So there's people that still probably suffering from this in the long run. And yeah, so I don't know. I mean, what about you guys? Is there any false memories or things that you felt like you should have seen or remember, but for some reason you can't remember it? Or have there been places that you've seen before, but you never physically visited, but you had a dream about being there, like as if you know that location. I had a few dreams like that too. One of my most realistic dreams was it was actually recent too, like probably last year. I had a dream that I went to the UK. The concept of the dream was more unbelievable, but it was the fact that I, like, in my heart and in my mind, I felt like this was really happening. Like me going on the plane, me taking a ride over there, me settling into this new area, like the feeling of being lost and confused and the feeling of unknown. It was so realistic. Like I don't know. So I don't know if you guys ever dealt with a situation like that. Let me know. I'd like to know about you guys' experiences with that. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, I know there's also the Mandela effect. I mean, I don't 100% agree with that one, because I haven't personally myself dealt with anything that was like kind of like that, like where I thought I seen one thing and then it turns out later on it was something else the entire time. So I'm still on the fence about that one. But I know one of the most common ones is the bear stains or whatever. I mean, I think that could be a common misconception of just how your mind like reads faster than, like, you know, it's like your mind and your eyes process things at a different speed. So there's been times where if you ever did this, some people be posting these pictures on Instagram or whatever, where there's two instances where they would type a sentence out, but they were I guess rephrase a word or respell a word, but the way your mind is reading the sentence, your brain already assumed how it's gonna finish. So it finished the sentences before you even finish reading, and then you read in and they put isn't it weird that your mind thought I said this, but you actually look back and reread it, I didn't. So this instance where it's been that, there's one where people would like write, I think, either the words upside down or backwards or in numbers and letters, and your brain just process it as if you're reading normal English. So yeah, it's possible that people are just like, their brain assumed how the word was gonna finish and they went with that. So there's a lot of things that goes on with that one, but I'm talking about things that's like I said, I grew up in New York. Like, seeing the World Trade Center should have been a common thing in my life, and yeah, I have zero memory of ever seeing it, and that's weird. So that's mainly that. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, that's about it. Like I said, this one's gonna be a short one. I'm trying to make more of my solo ones short, not too short, but like if I have something more like in depth to speak about, yeah. But that's about it for now. Yeah, like this is my 10th episode. I'm only hoping to just keep going from here, just growing. Hope you guys follow me along this journey. I appreciate any feedback, any comments. Of course, if there's any questions or any answers to questions that I put in here, definitely interact. I would love to respond to them in the next episode or following episodes. So, I mean, I guess I'll just repeat my question as a question of the day, just to keep with the theme. My question of the day would be, has there been a moment where you believe that you've seen something, or maybe you should have seen it, but for some reason you can't remember ever seeing it or experiencing it. But yeah, so I'm gonna leave you guys with that one. And yeah, it's been Digital Relaxation. It's the 10th episode of the Relaxing Thoughts podcast. Rate the podcast 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Follow me on my gaming and YouTube platforms. Instagram is digi.relaxation. And see you guys next time. Peace.